this is both an opportunity as well as challenge to work in such an industry, because you touch human lives. You don't know for what purpose people are traveling. They are traveling for leisure, or there is some emergency at home that they need to take care. So you have to be picture perfect. And in most of the cases, there's all dependencies on the other vendors, right? You don't have anything on your own. You're all buying inventory from others and selling them real time. But yeah, sorry, felt bad for you that he missed his bus to Amritsar. Yeah, coming back to today's session, what I'm going to share are little experience in terms of how we started implementing Agile. Again, we are not claiming that we are on the best of the ceremonies or best of the processes that we are implementing, but it's a step towards making it better. I'll share some of the genesis that you can refer, and I'm expecting that it's going to be a interaction rather than a one-way communication. So let's avoid any monologue. We have a little time crunch. I just have 147 slides. Okay, everybody is listening. No, not that many slides. Still, few slides, and if we are not able to cover everything, no rush. But whatever we cover, we should have quality coverage. Make sense? Yes. So I'll encourage all of you that if you have any question or query in mind, just raise your hand. I'll try to cover. So this is a little about my bio from the perspective of what organization I have worked and things like that. So we covered that about 20-30 people from the non-IT, and we have about 60-70% from IT. How many are from the e-commerce background? Okay, about 10%. And how many of us are started, or let me put this way, want to implement Agile at our organization? How many are implementing? Okay, and how many say that we are at best of the class? Okay, good. I don't feel odd. Okay, so again, there is no best state that we may say. So I'll share some of the things. So here would be the agenda for this evening. I'll share some of the insights about MakeMyTrip. I'm sure one or the other point you would either heard about it or use MakeMyTrip services, but you may be wondering about what goes behind the scene. So this would be an opportunity that you can learn what happens behind the scene of an e-commerce company. So about MakeMyTrip, our journey, how we started, some of the tools, awareness, how we started with this.
You worked with CA Technologies?
That's correct, yeah.
Since from end to end?
Sorry?
From end to end?
2005 to 2012, yeah.
In Gachibowli?
Yes. Cool. So somebody is, tracing me.
I worked in the same era,
okay.
The same campus.
We should catch up the tea.
Yeah.
Same here, man. We should go.
So road ahead and questions. So though the question has been placed at last, but feel free to ask anything that you like to clarify. What I would appreciate that if I share some of the practice that we follow to address a problem, and you have tried something different which you like to share, please share. MakeMyTrip business overview and context. This is the market share that we have, and pretty much though the data is little dated, but still holds true. It's the OTA, we call it in online travel agency. Started in 2000, India operation started in 2005, and few other statistics about our organization. A lot of focus these days is on the mobile app, because that's where the world is moving ahead. Mobile app is getting traction more than the desktop or the mobile sites or the end pages. And in fact, some of the vendors are taking really bold decisions. They're saying that I'm not going to show you any mobile site, just the app. That's the era we are moving on. In terms of site volume, so people who are from the e-commerce industry or the working on the web pages would directly understand. But I'll try to explain for the larger audience. Unique visits. When we say somebody, let's say there is a X site, and we say there are 100,000 visits in a day. What does it mean? So when you say unique visit, that means somebody came very first time on that site. That's the unique visit. We have 8.4 million visits per month, rapid visits. You come again from the same computer, same thing on the same site, that is again a new visit, right? But you're no more a unique visitor. You are identified with your signatures. And then you have the page views. And each visit, you know, sort 5 pages, 6 pages, 10 pages, depends on the site type, content, your interest, various other parameters. That's called the page views. So that means if your page views are higher, it could mean two factors. One, your site is so nice that you like to stay around, you know, visit so many pages. Or it could be the structure of the site is like that, that everything you're putting into different pages, that it gives a bigger volume. Right? But the key is, what is the engagement level? How long you are able to hold a visitor on your site? Like many times on the Google, we call it search engine result pages, that we search for a keyword, then we control tab, open multiple tabs, switch to the tabs, which one is not getting loaded, you know, you immediately close that tab, right? You don't have patience to wait for more than 5 seconds, so that the performance plays a key role. So that's what the industry is moving on. People want immediate result, fast result, and then context with respect to their context. So these are the little statistics from the monthly basis, so that just tells about the volume, which is certainly increasing. Understanding the context. So, you know, why to go agile? We started this journey in April 2014, but projects were getting delivered, you know, revenue is coming. Why still should we do it? Just because there is a fancy name? No, certainly not. And in fact, my personal assessment is that when I joined MakeMyTrip around 2.5 years ago, and I've been practicing Agile for last 5-6 years. I realized that most of the companies say there are 12-month, 18-month cycle, and we want to make it fast. That you have monthly cycle going on, and then you see that how the changes are progressing. From my assessment, we were hyper agile or super agile. A lot of times, you know, for the sake of agility, requirements were getting changed, projects were getting prioritized, lot of gear switching, lot of ad hoc tasks, lot of production monitoring, and we were bleeding in terms of the effort. So I thought that, you know, it has to put double effort, because in general, if you set a 12-month cycle to 1-month cycle, people would be apprehensive about, can we really do it? You know, how do we do it? Can I deliver such a project in this duration? There is less of risk, but the apprehension about, can I make something workable in 1 month? Here it was, I was seen as a, you know, monster in front of them who is impeding their progress, because they're saying you are taking our control back. You know, just imagine that a product manager or owner is there, and who has, you know, control of the team, and they said today you do this, tomorrow you do this, or I said this, now again change this, because I own the P&L, and nobody is going to question him. And suddenly somebody walks in and says, no, you need to give us a, you know, priority for these 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that's a sprint cycle, and I'm not going to change unless something is really, you know, serious. Now he has to think through. He loses his flexibility. Now we need to set the context why we are doing so. Otherwise, you will be always seen as an obstacle, isn't it? Right? And then even though the process is nice, everything is nice, but the acceptance would be much lesser. So how do we do it? So then we thought that let's give an honest step, not just for the sake of implementing it, but to bring the value to the table that it can serve. Let's give a shot. Then we started building that. What are the various complexity in the environment? In terms of server, can we guess how many servers we may have in our data centers?
Like virtual or physical?
They are virtual.
So you're counting virtual server or?
Virtual servers.
200?
100,000, what else?
300?
300. Any
You must be
guesses?
having
There is nothing to lose.
Multiple
It's a sheer
data
number.
centers to replicate, right? You must be having multiple data centers to replicate.
Yeah, we do have, so cumulative, you know, because they are active.
2000?
We have 1,000 servers, you know, across 2 DCs, and which is increasing. So, you know, we wish that we'll certainly reach that number also. You know, we have about 75 releases going to production per week, and this is data which is little dated. It may be touching 100 now. But these are the production. You know, I'm not saying anything else. Production fix is going to the, you know, production environment. This could, sorry?
Cloud? Or your physical service?
No, these are virtualized servers, our own data centers. So we have hosted on third party, but the servers belong to us, but the premise is somebody else, because they provide the basic infrastructure, security, and other things.
Not on cloud.
Not on cloud as of now. We heard of A/B testing, multivariate testing, right? So this is the key, testing the water so early, right? You're introducing a new feature, you want that, as small as that, if a button color should be, red or green, which one get more traction? A cancel operation should be shown on left or right, which one user click first? When you're doing this, when user is in a flow, this all things matter when you're talking about the volume. So it may be possible that if either of you open one version of, you type makemytrip.com, she may see some other version and he may see some other version. So that's what the page is, many other components also. And then we see that if 100 users or 1000 users came on site, what was the CTR, click-through rate, transaction, conversion, so many things are there. And if the test shows that certain version is a winning version, we deploy to the entire site. So at any given point of time, there could be 20 versions running in parallel. Multiple active data centers. So these are not slave and master data centers. So both are active. So it brings more complexity from the perspective of the booking IDs which are getting generated. You can't afford to have duplicate booking ID. Otherwise, one more gentleman would be saying, I had 2 people sitting on the same chair in the bus.
Another person will see.
Yeah. Engineer 300 plus team, so that it tells that what is the churning going on in production. And last but not least, the competitors. In our industry, first mover advantage is very important. Not just the process change, but the mind and behavior change. It was so fascinating that if you talk about in theory or in journal, everything makes sense. You should have DSM, you should have sprint planning meeting, there are benefits, but still, many teams fail. Still, you don't get support from the organization because at times change is resistive. I think most of the time change is resistive. And then how do I get those early wins that people start vouching for it? So it was lot more related to the individuals than to the anything else. Having a champion at the management level would be of great help. You should find somebody who can back you up and then say, in the boardroom and say that it makes sense, let's invest, let's support them. Otherwise, on your face, people say, yeah, it is good, working good, but behind your back, they may be saying, I don't know, I never seen any benefit. It looks like to me a mini waterfall, right? So very important that somebody should champion you there. Identify and understand supporters, neutral and non-supporters. These are 3 categories of people you would always find. Neutrals are certainly riskier because they may swing either side depending on where they are sitting. So, just identify them, work with them, and then try to get on the supporter side, right? So, very important that whom we are dealing with. So, was there a question? Okay. Avoid big bang and take baby steps. Very important. Don't try to have a one employee communication that we are starting Agile or Scrum and this is what we need to do. When people walk in office, their cues would be changed, nothing like that. Start with the small steps, positive things that people would. So basically, what is in it for them? So, I'll share some of the things which I followed. Be sensitive about learning curve of the audience. Maybe I'm passionate about Agile, but they are not passionate about Agile. It's just another process for them. So, what is their learning curve, how much inclined they are. It's very important to understand. In case of resistance, go beyond what you see and go what you listen. Very important point. People upfrontly would tell you that, it is not working for me, but behind the scene there may be something else. Maybe he's already overloaded by his manager from the work that he's not getting time or something else. So very important that why somebody is resisting, why is somebody reluctant about trying out something new. So usually you would see that people would express their want other than the need. So how do I identify their need that, why it is causing the concern? Tolerance for failures and focus on winning wars than the battles, right? So the first point mainly says that certain things you can handle at your level if you're championing this initiative, and certain things you need somebody senior further, maybe at a vice president, SVP level or the leadership level, that if some things don't move, that you get their support. Very important, otherwise people make the judgment too soon and then just decide that it is not going to work for us. On the second part is that at times you are pushing for it, you know that it makes sense, but still don't follow it. They say that, okay, I still don't believe it, I need some more time. I probably from next quarter I'll start, next month I'll start. Or maybe let this project finish, I'll start from next project. So just give that room to them. Say, fine, I'll respect your decision. Let me get back to you on so and so date, and then let's start fresh. So that you're not stepping on their toes. They have 10 commitments to the made to the further business, which they may be apprehensive if they change something mid-course. So just respect that, because life is not going to complete tomorrow. There is a day tomorrow. You can again go back and then see, okay, how about we start it now? Keep everyone updated of progress being made, including the management. Maybe there are good quick wins in small teams, but announce them. Announce them in such a fashion that there's a PSN update, not preaching about yourself. And it would be great if the people who got benefited out of it, they become advocate and then say, no, I think I'm seeing a difference. And that's what we try to do. But yeah, use mix of both the approaches wherever you can get their support. It really helps. And these small feedbacks behind yourself, that when people start acknowledging it, matters a lot. So our approach, again, some of the tactical things commenced in April 2014, have a project sponsor and champions, infrastructure availability, like in the form of D-list, collaboration sites, tools, training. It's important that the people whom we are dealing with are aware about the basic hygiene, otherwise it will appear Greek to them. So invest on the right tools and techniques, especially the trainings that team should go through, maybe a couple of our trainings. So what we did, we had a 300 plus tech organization, and I personally did 15 sessions of 2.5 hours each, so that they get the basic understanding of Agile. So that tomorrow if you say something, they can appreciate it. Started with DSMs, daily stand-up meetings, and then gradually conducting the sprint retrospective. So the DSMs were the easy wins because they were getting benefit. Product manager was saying, now I know where the project is moving. Any showstoppers were getting surfaced on a daily basis. So people got confident about that there is a benefit to it. So our approach was that let's start with the DSMs first. And you won't believe it also took few months before all the teams were at least doing the DSM in right fashion. They were saying, okay, when you do DSM, when everyone comes, we start doing DSMs. How long it runs? Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because it becomes a design discussions. So, start with something and then say, okay, now get to the qualitative aspect. Let's stick to the timelines and then do it in the right fashion. Unit-wise implementation and avoid Big Bang, we have already covered that part. Start with units who are supporters of Agile. You would always find some people, right? Because no organization is having just people from the, direct from the college. You would have experienced people who would have used one or the other place. You need to do a little, spend time and then find them out. They won't come or they won't surface directly. So do that investment and find your advocates who can help in this initiative. Keep showing collaterals on a regular basis that make sense and people can appreciate. Plan for CSM training and certification. So when we got the nice momentum, then we planned for a CSM training. We got out of 300 people, we got 10 people certified for CSM, all from tech that point of time. Then in the last December, then we thought, okay, now the tech has been done. How about these, product managers? Because one side has been addressed, but others doesn't make sense. We made the case for the CSPO. So 10 product managers were certified for the CSPO training, so that there are champions across the log. So technically, we reached to a stage where every team had one PM and one tech managers, CSM and CSPO. So there are two people who appreciate this. Have regular one-on-ones with the key stakeholders to seek feedback. That's what the time investment is. What they feel. Maybe in the public forums, nobody would speak their mind, either positive or negative. And you don't want to get carried away with the public, good job, keep it up, those kind of things. Just have the one-on-ones and then see what is their understanding about it and ifs and buts so that you can handle them better. Educate teams and don't educate teams, sorry for typo, and don't go in a push mode. So give them their freedom that you want to take some time, take it, but let's get it started. Strengthen QA automation, otherwise you will always be on your critical path. This is one of the biggest challenge in right implementation of Agile, that you can't finish your deliverables if you don't have QA automation, CI, unit test in place. I would say that start with the QA automation and CI, so that if you want to see some early results. Otherwise, it will become a mini waterfall that you don't want to get into. And what CSPO training then we did. So we were using this tool. This is simple, task board that we use. We were using Clarizen, which is one of the project management tool. And recently we found that it has certain limitation. It is a good tool for project management. Now we are switching to Jira, which is industry known tool for the Scrum management. This is the cheat sheet. We got it created that what are the various roles, meetings, and we got it posted to everybody's desk so that people have some doubt about some ceremony, some role, they can quickly refer it. Some of the FAQs are there, about 10 of them at the bottom that we get. One question which came very prominently, at least in our scenario, was that how do I handle ad hoc tasks? Ad hoc task was always questioning the successful completion of the sprint. So then we suggested some method that how they can handle out of their team. They could carve out 2 people based, or maybe 3 people basis their capacity that would be allocated for ad hoc tasks. But then he or she may not have full knowledge of the entire system. How do I address it? Then again the training part came, like a previous gentleman was mentioning from the Procter & Gamble, that training them. There's no shortcut to quality. Then you need to invest further there. So this helped us a lot. Then cheat sheet, it was again a big poster that we posted that so people can refer it as they walk through. SharePoint is a collaboration tool, or you may have Altition, Wiki also, anything. But we created one tool where all the collaterals were posted so that people have any questions, they can quickly refer. They need to dig through too many emails or other documents. We created a D list also. So the D list was, sorry, come again?
How do you collaborate? The discussion which board is doing, Confluence or what do you do?
Okay, so in this, in case of SharePoint, there is a discussion board feature. If you see the second last links, discussion board, not sure if it is visible from there. So discussion board is there. So the purpose of discussion board was that anything anybody can post there. But we created this D list also. So what we are doing is that anything which is coming to D list, we are just ceasing so that it gets logged for the future references. But again, nothing beats the direct communication. So every fortnight we were having meetings with the team that if there are any challenges, questions that they are facing, and we can address them out. So that was